So we're ready.
Yeah, ready? Okay.
We're ready. We're ready. All right, you all.
Wait.
Give us a few seconds. All right, everyone. Thank you all for being so patient with us. We've had some technical difficulties. So this is going to be an awesome show, we know, because the devil is busy, but we are here. We got new links out. So if you have a friend that wanted to join, we're going to put the new link in the chat so you all can share the new link. It's on Facebook, it's on all of our social media platforms. So hopefully everyone can come on in and join us on tonight's episode. So again, our apologies, but we are ready. Are you all ready? Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, Kisa. Hello, Janice. Again, we are so sorry for the delay, but we're going to jump right in, okay? So, hello, I'm Jessica Wright.
And I'm Eshonda Blue.
And we welcome you to the Green Table Senior Care Talk Show. We are your Senior Care Talk Show hosts and your senior care experts. So before we go any further, Eshonda is going to let you know a little bit about who we are.
Yes, just a little bit about who we are.
Yes.
Like Jessica said, we are your senior care experts. We have been operating senior care facilities for over 15 years now. We do adult day, personal care homes, transportation, and we have done in-home care. We sold our in-home care business in 2019 for 7 figures. And when we did that, we pivoted and we started helping entrepreneurs start their own senior care business. We have a mastermind where we provide ongoing coaching and mentorship. We have turnkey solutions for people to start their personal care homes and adult day centers. And so that's just a little bit about us. We started with our grandmother. Our grandmother was our very first client who told us that she never wanted to go to a nursing home. So we actually built our mission, our company, our vision around that statement alone. So that's just a little bit about who we are on tonight.
All right. So now that you know who we are, I want to tell you about what the Green Table Senior Care Talk Show is all about. So Eshonda and I, we wanted to create a space for aspiring and current senior care business owners where we can share knowledge, we can share resources and tools for them on this platform in the senior care industry. But tonight is special because we're calling all entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, current entrepreneurs, no matter what business you have, you are still in the right place at the right time.
That's
so
right.
Here on the Green Table Talk, we are the senior care experts, but we're in business. So we can talk business. We wear multiple hats. So we can do multiple things here on the Green Table Talk. So you don't want to miss what is happening on the Green Table Talk. So you all stay connected, get connected if you're not connected. And because you just never know who we're going to have as guests, what we're going to be bringing to the Green Table Talk. So without further ado, we're excited. This is our second episode, you guys. So we're new to this, but to the talk show, but we're not new to business, as you heard from Eshonda. We are the experts. And so tonight, we're going to be talking about how to get funding for your business, right? Because we talk to so many individuals who want to start a business, but the number one roadblock, the number one roadblock.
The number one question.
Yes, question, roadblock, however you want to say it, is funding. I have the passion, I have the vision, but I don't have the funding.
That's right.
So, but we're going to fix that on tonight. And so who we have tonight, you all, she is a small business development coach, mentor with Albany Community Together, Inc. Miss Tonita McKnight. She's going to be spilling tea here on the Green Table on how to secure funding for your business. But before we bring Miss Tonita on, I need you all to check in. I need you all to put a 1 in the chat if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a 2 in the chat if you're a current entrepreneur. I want to see who we have here with us on the green table tonight. So again, put a 1 in the chat if you're aspiring. I see you, Kisa, aspiring entrepreneur. Put a 2 in the chat. Janice, I see you. S Wink, I see you. So listen, we are so excited, you all. So again, we had technical difficulties in the beginning, but we are here. We are ready. We are ready to give you what you need so you can get funding. Whether you're aspiring or you're current entrepreneur, we always need money, right? So listen, I don't know. I know we have some people on that are at least, let's see, at least 30 years old. If you're at least 30 years old, I think you still know, maybe not. But if you know, if you're down with OPP, who knows what I'm talking about when I said, are you down with OPP? That
you know me.
Naughty by nature. I had to ask my sister, I said, who sings that? So that we're not talking about OPP tonight. We're talking about OPM. We're going to be spilling how to use other people's money on tonight. And so if you want to know how to do that, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Put in the chat OPM, because we are all about using other people's money. That's how you get ahead. So OPM, yes, Janice, OPM, other people's money. So Tonita, without further ado, I know I just gave a little snippet of who you are. Just tell us about yourself, your background, and your current role.
Thank you, Jessica. As she stated before, my name is Tonita McKnight. I handle business development and program management with Albany Community Together. Been with ACT a little over 7 years. Prior to joining ACT, I worked in property management. I worked in grant administration and finance as a personal banker with Bank of America. So I keep getting reeled back into the money when it comes to positions and helping people to not only grow their wealth, but grow other people's wealth.
Because money it makes the world go round, as they say. So we need to know about the money. So with further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Eshonda, and she's going to start asking some questions.
That's right. All right, we got some juicy questions on tonight. Our first question for you tonight is, and by the way, viewers, if you have questions, you can go ahead and post them in the chat, and we will make sure they get answered before we leave on tonight. So question number 1, what are some barriers or roadblocks to assessing funding? What are some barriers that people face?
Some of the barriers that we see a lot with ACT is the credit. People either don't have a lot of credit history, or they have some issues on their credit and they haven't started working to resolve those issues. We know that life happens, and so we like to see people, even if there are some things on their credit history, on their credit report, them taking the acknowledging them, one, and taking the correct action to kind of change them and put them in a better position moving forward. Another huge barrier is capital. Having some skin in the game is what all lenders want to see from somebody who's trying to borrow money. And a lot of times people start a business and they haven't saved any money. They don't have any money put aside for that business. And it's some truth to the old saying, it takes money to make money. So that can be one of the barriers. Having collateral. We run into a lot of people renting, and so they don't have anything that they own. And when we run into that issue, lenders like to have a safety net when it comes to lending out money. That way, if something goes wrong with the loan, if the loan defaults, we have a way of trying to recoup our funds. And if you rent, or if you're leasing and you don't have any asset, that can be a huge barrier, because we don't have anything to secure the loan if the loan goes bad. And it's risk with any loan, whether you've been in business a long time or you're just starting out. There are risks involved. So we like to have that safety net in place. But usually what we run into is the credit, the collateral piece. with people having assets that they own, and also having some money set aside for their vision, for their dreams.
Wow, we've heard that, experienced that. So that is all the way. I don't know if you want to give a real life testimony on how what she just dropped, those gems that Tonita just dropped is very real.
Yeah, I wrote down credit, collateral, assets, and cash. But I'm going to stick a pin, Tonita, in assets, because I can remember how we first met you when we decided maybe 4 or 5 years ago that we wanted to buy our first facility. At the time, we were leasing everything that we operated. And you guys looked at our financials, and I'm sure you'll tell people later on how you guys help entrepreneurs. But you guys looked at our financials and you were like, y'all don't have any assets. Y'all were like, no bank is going to approve you for funding. And true enough, when we went for funding, we were denied for that purpose because we didn't have any assets. At the time, we didn't know the value of having assets. I think we had a cash producing company, but we had 0 assets. And so thank you for sharing that today. I'm going to recap that again, if we can put that in the chat. Credit, collateral, assets, and cash.
And just to talk about credit, and so, you know, and Tonita, let me know if I'm talking in the right direction, but I know we inform a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs. They want to know, well, how can I have get my business credit up? Well, you haven't started. You really don't have any business credit. So it's really your credit that they're looking at. And so listen, you all get your credit together, because that is what you're going to be using. That is what the bank is going to be looking at. Lenders are going to be looking at. You have no business credit. You are the business credit. So I don't know. Am I talking right, Tonita?
That's absolutely right. For Albany Community Together, and I'm just going to say ACT, just to shorten it up. For ACT, all of our loans have to be personally guaranteed by the owners. So we're going to look at your personal credit. We're going to hone in on that. And even as you establish business credit, as you start to grow your own business credit, there are going to be some lenders that'll still go back to your personal credit. They'll pull your personal credit as well as your business credit. They'll ask you if you have a Duns and Bradstreet number, and they'll pull both.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, every loan that we've ever been approved for or applied for, they always ask for our personal credit. So even our our personal financial statements. So those are things that they've always asked for.
Right. It's very, very important because it speaks to the character of the actual person that's going to be operating that business, because you are your business. So we want to see how you've personally handled your obligations in the past. And that's going to tell us, that's going to help paint the picture.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Let's get into our question number 2, which is, what are common mistakes fund seekers make? What are some common mistakes they make?
They don't know how much they want to borrow. I can't tell you how many times I speak with someone about their business and they give me this great idea that they have and how they plan to operate. And then when I ask them, okay, so how much do you need from us? They say between 20 and 75,000. Well, that's a huge gap. So you need to kind of close that gap and make it more realistic. You don't want to underfund yourself when you're requesting funding, but you don't want to have such a huge gap, because the lender's going to say, well, wait a minute, you haven't done enough research to know how much you really need. So am I willing to take that risk and give you this money because you don't even know if it's going to be enough because of this huge gap that you have? I mean, if you say 20 to 25 or 50 to 60, that's a little bit more closer together. But when you have, something that's greater than 25,000 in a gap, that's speaking volumes. It's letting us know that you haven't really thought about what you're going to be using those funds for. Another one is when people start their business, sometimes they think, if I'm going to go hard on this, I've got to quit my job. That definitely is a red flag for lenders, because we're going to be trying to find out how can we get our money back. And that's whether you're a traditional lender, Bank of America, Renaissance, or if you are a CDFI, a Community Development Financial Institution, or Development Authority. If I came to you and asked to borrow $10,000, if I don't have a job or any income coming in, you're going to say, well, how am I going to get my $10,000 back? And I can tell you, well, I plan to make money. I'm going to use this $10,000 you're giving me, and I hope to get a job next month. But what if I don't get a job next month? See, lending is all about mitigating risk, bringing the risk down, because it's just going to be a risk no matter what, even if you have those things in place. But you want to kind of check things off and say, okay, well, it is a risk to make this loan, but they have income coming in. They're still working their job part-time, or if they quit their job, they have someone who's willing to co-sign and personally guarantee the loan. So we'll be pulling their credit as well. And they have income coming in, and their income is enough to pay us back if the primary borrower doesn't pay us back.
I am taking notes. You are knocking it out the park tonight, because another question a lot of people ask is, should I quit my job? Right. I'm starting my business, and I need to put more time in my business. Should I quit my job? We hear that all the time. And this just answered that question. And Tonita, I know for us, when we started our business, we worked our jobs for 3 years before we left them. And I know we used our money to support the business along that way, because we were just starting up. So that is a very good way to put that.
Yeah. We hear that all the time. It's I'm leaving this 9 to 5 so I can focus on my dream, and I need $50,000. And it's like, well, your dream sounds great, but how are we going to get our money back?
Wow.
You just quit your only job. You're going to have to work 80 hours a week. You're just going to have to really get in there, work your job, even if you cut down to part-time, but you're going to have some income coming in, or have a co-signer. Like I said, that's willing to put their credit as well as their income and their financial history on the line for you, because we're going to ask for their tax returns to prove that they have income in place to pay that loan back.
Yes. Wow.
We have some questions from some viewers. Okay. Question number 1, Tonita. Janisa asks, what is the sweet spot for personal credit? What is the sweet spot?
Good question.
We prefer a 600 or better. Traditional lenders usually like 680. And so it just all depends. Of course, the higher, then the higher the score, the less risk in a lender's eyes. But we have more flexibility when it comes to CDFIs, looking at someone who doesn't necessarily have that 680 or have that 620, but we prefer that 600 or above. If it's below 600, you're going to need a co-signer for ACT.
Okay. Another question. How much in cash and assets do lenders like to see when seeking a loan?
Okay, so the rule of thumb would be that you would have enough to support your personal obligations and your business obligations and cover the new debt that you're trying to seek. So it depends on how much you're seeking for that dollar amount. I would like to say you need to have something in savings. And if you've already put money into your business, a lot of times people forget that they've invested a couple of thousand into their business already. Make sure you mention that to a lender. ACT will look at that. I had someone I talked to the other day who had put $50,000 of their money into their business so far, and they've been operating since 2019. So they have some skin in the game. So that makes us feel a little bit more secure, because they forked out that type of money and they have some savings. Now they may not have the $75,000 that they had because they put $50,000 into it, but they still have some savings to make a couple of months payments, maybe 6 months payments, and they've already put money into their business. But it depends on how much you're requesting.
Okay.
Any more questions?
One last question. So are we saying at least 3 months worth of expenses covered? Would that be safe?
3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months. Okay. All right, viewers, remember, please drop your questions in the chat. We want to make sure we answer all your questions, dispel all myths. We want to make it clear here on the green table.
Yes. I'm taking my notes. I don't know about you guys. I want to be able to help somebody with this information. It is so good. So we're going to go into the next question is, prior to requesting funding, what is essential for business owners to have? For example, business plan, projections. What would you say to that?
We recommend that all of our prospects have a business plan. For us to consider your application request, you will have to produce it by the time you submit your application package. So we refer a lot of people to the UGA Small Business Development Center. They can get help with their business plan and the financial projections at no additional cost to them. It's been covered already. And so we do require that for our loans, and those financial projections for us, it's 3 years. Some lenders will only require 12 months, but we want to know what your future looks like financially. What do you think your profit and loss or your income statement is going to look like over the next 36 months? What do you think your cash flow is going to be like? What do you think your balance sheet is going to be like? What financial position will you be in? So we like to see that. And I also recommend, if you hadn't pulled your credit in over 6 months, try to get a copy of your credit. You can get a free credit report in the state of Georgia. You can get a free credit report, I think 2 annually. And there's some agencies out there that can do a soft pull. One of our business resource partners, Best, does a soft pull from all 3 agencies. And the soft pull does not affect your score, but it'll let you see what your score is from all 3 agencies, all the 3 major agencies, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And it also gives us the FICO 5 score, which is what ACT looks at when we're looking to do a loan.
Okay.
Listen, we coach, we consult, and I'm telling you, we tell individuals that the business plan is the Bible for your business. You got to have the business plan. That's the roadmap. And you know, they said to write the vision and make it plain. You got to write the vision and make it plain for these lenders, for yourself, for the people that is going to be working in your business. So I'm telling you can't, Eshonda, she like Monopoly.
Yeah.
So she say, don't go past go without the business plan. Essential. And you know what, Tonita, if they've done that business plan, they would know how much money, those financial projections, they would know how much money they need for that project.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any questions from our viewers? And if not, we're going to keep moving.
I do see some questions. I don't know if we answered this. You answered this, but they said, what would you consider an asset?
So we look at real estate. We look at vehicles that are lien free, equipment that's lien free. And if you're using the funding to purchase vehicles or equipment, then we can look at that as an asset. Even though you're purchasing it and we'll be the lien holder, we can look at it as an asset for you, because as you pay it off, it will become your asset. And so we look at those 3 main things. Some lenders, depending on what industry you're in, they'll look at other additional items like CDs. They'll look at some insurances that you may have. I've even heard of some lenders that are into the farming industry looking at farming equipment and livestock. But we focus on real estate, vehicles, and equipment that is lien. Real estate, it does not have to be lien free, but it does have to have equity in it.
Okay. Awesome. These are great questions, you all. One other question, what about grants, consulting, referrals to assess grants?
Okay, so we talk about grants that the government does. So grants.gov is a good website, but usually the grants that we deal with have a social connection to it. So they have a social component to it where it's not helping the business owner get rich, but it's helping the community at large. And so grants.gov is usually tied to something like that. A lot of times people will start nonprofits so that they can get, because that has that mission and that social connection, they can get access to grant funding more easily. There are some private foundations that do grants. And so you would just do your research on that. There are some websites that people go to and they use. They pay for memberships to find out about those private foundations, like the Wells Fargo Foundation. Even though it's a bank, they also have funding set aside to help the community and business owners and individuals at large. And so you'll see that. We did some grant funding because of COVID to help with the relief this past year. And it was geared towards helping African-American owned businesses that have been established and open and running prior to the COVID shutdown, and that were having a hard time and suffered a loss due to the pandemic. Now, most businesses suffered a loss due to the pandemic, but that particular grant was geared toward African-American businesses. And so they had to be owned primarily by African-Americans. Even if it was woman owned, if it wasn't an African-American owned business, it had to be very specific. We could not fund it. And they had to be open prior to the pandemic. So if they were just starting out, but they weren't open prior to, that would knock them out the ball.
Wow. Well, listen, you guys, that was just a snippet on grants. But listen, on June 9th, we're going to have a whole episode on grants. So you all stay tuned. We'll talk more about that. We know how important grants are and how beneficial it is to our business, because we don't have to pay those back, right? And right. So we're going to be dropping all the tea on grants on the next episode.
Yes. You guys want to be at the green table. I'm telling you, we know what you guys want to hear. We've been listening to these questions that people have been asking us. And so that is the speakers and the content that we're going to try to bring to you guys, so it can help you and enrich you and hopefully help you start your business or either grow your business.
Yes.
And don't forget government contracts. Some businesses that we've assisted in the past, we've done loans for, they've gotten government contracts because they have been certified in their industry to offer those services. And the government has awarded them contracts. They've met the requirements for a certain program, and they're reaching a target audience, and they've been able to get government contracts. And that's money that is paid to them. So, of course, they're not paying it back. It's not necessarily a grant, but they're actually getting paid to offer those services.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Number 4, tell us about the local development authorities and how they assist business owners.
So usually every community has an economic development or economic and community development department where their focus is growing the community, developing their community, and growing the economy. So building wealth in their community by funneling money to businesses for entrepreneurship, or funneling money into a residential life and increasing housing in their communities. And so those different development authorities usually have set asides that they can give to business owners through the form of a loan. If it's a small grant, then it may be a program that they run for their community. So you might have someone who has a housing program that they run for their community. And those development authorities will have that funding set aside for organizations to do that, offer those types of services, or they're going to be starting a business where they're building wealth and creating economic opportunities through job creation in their communities.
Okay. So what is an example of some type of development authorities?
The City of Albany's Department of Community Economic Development is a development authority. They have a economic development loan fund for small businesses that are in the City of Albany. And so I think they do loans up to $250,000, and you can go to them and pitch your business idea, what you're talking about bringing to the community, the jobs that you're talking about creating, and see if there's funding available for you to start your business or to grow your business. And the interest rates are usually very attractive and affordable.
So would you say, because I know I'm on the board for the development authority for our town here in Sumter County, but those are pretty much in every city, right? Development authorities. Right. I know we have funding available similar to this. So would that be an example of a development authority?
Correct. So sometimes they'll be called economic development or community and economic development, but they'll have funding that trickles down from the state and they'll have local funding that they can use to help businesses. As a matter of fact, the city of Albany had some funding from the CARES Act where they were able to do grants as well. I think the grants were up to $5,000, but you had to be a business in Albany that was existing prior to COVID. And so they had a program where they help you with business support services, as well as training to help you grow your business and sustain your business during the pandemic. And that was funding that you didn't have to pay back.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Let's see. I have some questions here from our viewers. They wanted to know, can they use their 401k as collateral? Is that possible?
We don't use 401k. So for ACT, no, we couldn't use that. We stick to the real estate and the lien-free equipment and lien-free vehicles. But that may be a possibility for another lender.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Tonita, they want your contact information, girl. So before we get out tonight, we got to put that in the chat for everyone, and we'll make sure everyone gets Tonita's information. She has been a blessing to our business. I have to share this because when she looked at our financials, let me tell you, we thought we were doing it. We thought we were doing it. And when they told us, you don't have any assets, you're not going to get any funding, even though it was a shock, but it changed our lives because we made a decision that day that we would never lease another property again. And we've been purchasing ever since. So Tonita, thank you for, because a lot of times it's really about information, isn't it? And
right.
Just didn't have that knowledge at the time, and you guys shared that with us. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And you all have a knack
together.
Sorry. I was going to say, you all have a knack for finding assets that have equity built in. So it helps when you say, we're going to purchase this property. You have not only the funding to use for their purchase, but there's equity that you can draw out for something else, like working capital. Because working capital is not tied to an asset like purchases are. When you're trying to buy something, we can easily say, okay, what are you using the funds for? All right, well, give us, the item description, give us the equipment make and model number. Let our underwriters look at the depreciation and calculate if we can use this as an asset for you. If you're purchasing a building, let's get an appraisal. Let's find out how much this building is assessed for. But when you're talking about working capital or inventory, that is an intangible asset that we can't use as collateral. So when you find those diamonds in the roughs, those gems, that makes it a lot easier to use that for working capital, because we can look at that for real estate.
Listen, can you all put some gems in the comments? Because I know we're dropping them left and right and left here on tonight at the Green Table Talk. So if you would, if you're in the chat, in StreamYard, or if you're on YouTube, let me just see some gems being dropped in the comments, because they're just everywhere here. Another question from our viewers. The minority owned or women owned, those kind of certifications, how valuable do you think that is to a business with when they're seeking funding or trying to get grants? Is that beneficial?
It can be very beneficial if it's a minority-owned business. Like I touched on, sometimes they have set-asides for those types of businesses where they have funding that's geared toward minorities or geared toward women. And so having those certifications in place can be beneficial. For all of our loan programs, you don't have to be, we're not exclusive, but majority of our loans go to minority-owned businesses, low to moderate, women-owned businesses. As a matter of fact, that's the fastest growing number right now nationwide is women-owned businesses, minority women, women of color owned businesses. So that definitely can be a benefit to you.
Oh yeah. You know what Beyonce say? So listen, they want to know, you're from ACT, but we have viewers all over the U.S. viewing us here tonight. What are some programs like ACT that they can tap in that are national?
So OFN, Opportunity Finance Network, OFN.org, they have CDFI, they have a CDFI locator tool on their website. That is a network for CDFIs nationwide, including places like Hawaii and Alaska. But you can tap into their CDFI locator, put in what area you're looking for, and they can bring up CDFIs in that area. We just cover 38 counties in Southwest Georgia, but I say just, it's still a lot because our organization is small, but we also network with GMIN, Georgia Micro Enterprise Network, and that's a connection or a collaboration, a networking association of micro enterprises that benefit businesses in the state of Georgia. And so there's CDFIs, even in the state of Georgia. We only cover Southwest Georgia, but we know CDFIs that cover Southeast Georgia, that cover North Georgia, and we can always make those referrals for the state. But when it goes outside of the state, I recommend OFN.org, and they have a CDFI locator on their website, and you can type in wherever you are and get a CDFI for your area.
Awesome. Jim.
Yeah, that's a gem. And CDFI stands for Community Development
Financial Institution. And they're different kinds. So you have Community Development Financial Institution credit unions and banks, and they usually have depository accounts, so you can have a checking and a savings. ACT is a CDFI loan fund, so we only do business loans. We don't have checking and savings accounts. And so for all of our clients, they have to have a business checking account or set up one for us to fund their loan. But they have some that are set up, like I said, through the credit unions and banks, CDFI credit unions and banks. And they also do residential. If you're looking to buy a home, you have some CDFIs that have loans for homes, CDFIs that have personal loans if you're trying to build your credit. All the CDFIs are talking about community development, offering support to help you as an individual or you as a business to grow and grow economically, as well as be able to grow your wealth for your community.
Okay.
Awesome.
Jess, we got some questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Ms. King wants to know, I'm looking to purchase a multi-unit property. Is it better to have a single family property or a multi-unit for this? I guess she's saying first for this type of business.
If she's looking to own a personal care home?
I'm not sure. She says, I'm looking to purchase a multi-unit property. Is it better to have a single family property or multi-unit? Ms. King, if you can give us more clarification, we can definitely ask for this type of business.
Let's see. Lori has a question. We'll wait and let Ms. King give
She
us
said
more.
yes for personal care home, for senior care business.
Okay, so that seems like that's more geared towards you all's wheelhouse.
Yeah, I would say which one to start first. Let me say this. You can't go wrong with either one. We actually, I guess, putting our real estate hat on, if you do a multi-family property versus a single family property, I can tell you that we bought, we bought a multi-family. It was a quadruplex, and I think we got it for $165. I think we bought it for $165K. And when we finished the renovations on it, it appraised at 400 and something K. So the real estate in it is definitely going to be the value and the equity, all that stuff that Miss Tonita is talking about. If you do a multi-family type property, you're going to probably have more equity and real estate value, if that makes sense. But as far as and it'll do the same thing for whether it's a single family or multifamily, right? But the difference I think there is going to be your real estate and your equity.
Okay. One question from Lori. She said, "Are there agencies that offer free or low cost business plans?" And I think you dropped this, Jim, and we ran right through it, but we're going to back it up, and because I think you said, was it the SB?
The UGA Small Business Development Center, we call them SBDC for short, but it's the UGA Small Business Development Center. And they usually have small business development centers in every state, but for Georgia, it's UGA Small Business Development Center, and I want to say that there are 18 of them throughout the state.
That's correct. And let me just give them a plug. We've used them. We continue to use them. They have helped us with our business plan, our projections. They are a great resource, free resource. So not low cost. We're talking about a free resource. And they are, the people that are there, they are past business owners. They worked in Fortune 500 companies. So I'm talking about, this is no, they're not playing any games. They will get you right. So let you all catch that, Jim. I'm glad you backed that up, because I heard it and I was going to stick a point and then something came to me. So thank you, Lori, for asking that question. SBDC, you can find them anywhere in the U.S.
Another thing about the SBDC that I noticed too is that they'll bring in different experts for you depending on your business line. So if you're in the restaurant business, we were thinking about franchising for a minute. They brought in an expert for us to talk to about franchising. So what I've noticed about them is they will bring in an expert in your field. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I think we're getting close to our last question, but what are the benefits of seeking funding from a traditional vendor, and what does that look like?
So traditional lenders, they usually have the larger purses, right? They are the Banks of America, the Renaissance, the Truist, formerly SunTrust. And so if you're an established business and you're looking for more than $250,000, they're going to have the purse for that. They're going to have better.
Let's see, Tonita.
Hold on, she's frozen, look like, on our end. So hopefully we'll get her back in so she can answer that question on that.
Yeah, because she was going down. What I heard her say is that the traditional lenders have a bigger purse. So if you're needing larger funding, you're going to have to go to those types of lenders. And I hope we can get her back so she can continue to tell us about the traditional lenders. Jessica, let me see if we have any questions here that we can answer.
She dropped on. Maybe she have to come back. But listen, I just want to make sure you all put this on your calendar. June 9th, 7 p.m. I want you all to meet us right back here at the Green Table Senior Care Talk Show. We're going to be talking about grants. Grants for your business, how you can utilize it in your business, no matter what industry you're in. We're going to be having an expert come to us and talk about grants, right? Loans are good, but when we can get a grant, can I get hands up on that? When we can get a grant and not have to pay back those funds, that's even better. So we will be having that on our next show, our episode number 3, grants for your business. Yes, I see a yay in the chat. So listen, while we're waiting on Tonita to come in, I just want to diverse. I want to make sure, let me see if we have some senior care owners or some potential people who are looking for senior care, that's, we're the senior care experts. So I always want to open the floor where we can talk about senior care, because this industry is booming. This is the largest and the fastest growing population. And so there's a 75% need of providers in this industry, the $1 billion industry. You heard me right, with the B, the $1 billion industry. So we're looking for providers to meet the growing needs of seniors that are coming our way. They're calling the seniors the silver tsunami, right? And so if you're looking to invest, to diversify, to get in a booming industry that will be booming for the next 20 to 30 years, you're in the right place. You're with the senior care experts, and we want to help you enter into this space. And so we can do that. Again, we talk to a lot of people, and we've heard the roadblocks of doing it alone, don't know how to do a business plan, funding, things of that sort, needing a network, not having to reinvent the wheel. And so we have, Eshonda and I have an initiative where we want to help 100 individuals start their senior care business through utilizing our turnkey or our senior care business incubator. And so, Whitney, if you'll drop the link, if you're looking to enter into this space, we have you. We have the Senior Care Incubator for $19.97, where you can come and we will give you all the steps you need to start your senior care business. Again, you can be profitable in 6 months. You can be a 6-figure business in 6 months, and we want to show you how to do that. So if you're ready, I think I've seen someone say they're in senior care, looking to open. We want to help you. Eshonda talked about the mastermind that we have. So whether you're in the senior care business already, we know you still need a network. And we want you to be a part of the network where we can talk to you, coach you, because we all go through seasons where we need help. And so we just want to have that community. So I see Tonita has joined us back, but that's a quick segment on how we can help you enter the senior care industry.
All right, Tonita, can you hear us?
Uh-oh. Dropped again.
Dropped again.
So we know how the internet is. We know how technology is. We experienced it at the beginning of our show. But I think we have dropped some great gems on here tonight.
Yes.
Eshonda, do you want to do a quick run through? I know you were taking some notes.
I got some notes. I have some notes. Just to recap, to give her some time to come back. And we were actually on our very last question, and I think it was a great question. So we definitely want to try to get her back to answer that. But she talked about barriers and roadblocks that we face when we are trying to get funding. And she talked about credit, collateral, assets, and cash. But you know what? What I did, I stuck a pin in character, because at the end of the day, that's what they are trying to assess. So she said credit, collateral, assets, cash. Okay. Those are some of the barriers and the roadblocks that we face when we're trying to get funding. Some common mistakes, she says, that we don't know how much we want or need to borrow, right? That means we haven't done the research. We haven't done the business plan and the financial projections, and we're just putting a number out there. That's a very important number, because if you undershoot that number, you're going to go in the red pretty fast. So that was a common mistake. We don't know how much to ask for. And then we quit our jobs, right? Your business haven't even got off the ground. It's not even breaking even. It's not profitable, but you left your job and you still have this debt to service, right? So that is a common mistake that she says that she sees. Someone from the audience asked a great question about the credit score. What is the sweet spot? She said 600 or better, and traditional lenders are looking for 680 or better. Okay. And she said it was a good idea to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved up. Those are some nuggets there. And then the essentials for business owners. She said a business plan, 3-year financial projections, and a credit report. Yes, this is such good information. She talked about local development authorities, and these people have fundings for you. She talked about the CDFI and how you can find one in your area, ofn.org. And she is back. So we want to get her while she is back to tell us about these traditional lenders. Can you hear us, Tonita?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, Lord.
Have the bigger purses. If you're an established business, then it is ideally to go with a traditional lender because they have more that they can offer you and they're more easily accessible. You can reach them around the clock, 24 hours. CDFIs, they're usually smaller organizations. We work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. We do have online access, but it's not as robust as traditional lender. But a lot of our financing that we do, as a matter of fact, I want to say about 75%, maybe 75% is working with traditional lenders where we do gap financing. So that's the key part to working with a traditional lender. And we try to leverage public-private funding.
Yes, yes. Last question. Any last tips or advice on tonight?
So you definitely want to do your research in your industry. And it's good to have organizations like Innovative Senior Solutions that's willing to help you with that research because there's so much in this industry. And this industry is growing by leaps and bounds. So there are things that are changing and updating every month, if not every day. And they're on top of it. So you want to make sure you do your research because even if you have someone write you a really nice business plan, if you can't articulate it and give real numbers in a way that our underwriters can understand what you're trying to do and how it's going to benefit the community if you're with a CDFI or how it's going to make a profit if you're with a traditional lender, then they're not going to fund the project. They're not going to fund the project. So you want to be knowledgeable about your business and what you're going into. And that is another thing that we notice. Sometimes people will pay people money to write their business plan and they haven't even read it.
Wow.
Wow.
Now that's real. You just kept it 100. That's what we do here on the Green Table Talk. We got to keep it 100 because, we have people who are entering the industry, businesses, current business owners, and you get this facade and, people telling half of the story, but we're going to give you the whole truth and nothing but the truth here on the Green Table Talk.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Take advantage of resources that you have. Take advantage of Innovative Senior Solutions, especially because they're in the industry that you're trying to get into. They've got 15 years experience. Isn't that what you said? 15 years. So that they didn't fall off the turnip trunk last night. They've been doing this for quite some time. Take advantage of the Small Business Development Center to help you put those numbers together. You may not be as familiar with what the numbers should look like or the format, but you know what you're doing. And if you can say it, you can write it down. So be willing and ready to do that.
That's right. Tonita, can you tell them how they can reach out to you and contact you?
Absolutely. You can reach me online at my email, tonita.mcknight@Albany Community Together. It's pretty long, but albanycommunitytogether.com, and I'll put it into the chat. You can also check us out on our website, albanycommunitytogether.com. Check us out on Facebook, Albany Community Together, Inc. Check us out on Instagram at ACT_SWGA for Southwest Georgia. And you can also check us out on LinkedIn, Albany Community Together, Inc. So I'll put that in the chat for you all.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
all
Thank
right.
you. And we'll make sure it goes out in the replay as well.
Awesome.
Yes, yes, yes. All right.
Well, Tonita, we just say thank you, thank you, thank you for gracing the stage on the Green Table Talk. I think this was phenomenal.
Mhm.
And so, if you all agree, my viewers, if you all can put some clap emoji, something up there to let us know that this was beneficial to you, to help you with gaining knowledge, resources on how to find funding for your business.
Better yet, if they can put us a takeaway. If you can put a takeaway, a aha moment on tonight in the chat, let us know that this is beneficial, right? Let us know. And Tonita, thank you for being patient. She also had to wait. Guys, we were ready for y'all at 6:30 and it just didn't, the technical difficulties just, it was just in our way tonight, but everybody stayed patient and diligent, our team, and we were able to bring this information to you, and it was good.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So thank you, viewers, for tuning in to episode 2, how to gain funding for your senior care business. And so again, we want you to meet us here back on June the 9th, where we'll be talking about grants that you can utilize in your business. So you don't want to miss that June 9th. Again, stay connected with Eshonda and I, whether it's in our social media, whether it's in our close community. We're on all social media platforms. If you would drop that in the chat as well, how they can stay connected with us. Because yes, we are senior care experts, but again, like Miss Tonita said, we've been in business for 15 years. And so we know business. We've been through the pitfalls. We've been through the ups, the downs. And what is different about Eshonda and I, we want to help you where you don't have to go through those pitfalls. And so you can, we want to share our knowledge, our experience here on the Green Table Talk. Also, we want to share that if you want to enter the senior care industry. And so let us help you go through the process. If you're interested about learning how to start your very own senior care business,
we're the experts. We're your guide.
Yes. We are here to help you. We didn't have that 15 years ago. We had to just figure it out. But listen, we have the blueprint, and we're not just blowing smoke here. We're walking the walk that we talk. We are operators. We have sold businesses for 7 figures. We currently operate 7-figure businesses, and we want to help you be a 6 to 7-figure business owner. Who don't want that? And so if you're ready, only if you're ready,
that's right.
We have a link where we can help you. And so again, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for being patient with us on tonight. Again, get connected with Innovative Senior Care Consultants, Eshonda and I, the senior care experts, and your senior care talk show hosts. So again, we say thank you. Thank you again, Tonita.
Yes.
And so again, we'll see you on June the 9th. Thank you.
Thank
and
you,
have
everyone.
a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.